My name is Cal.
Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Welcome back. It's your pal, Cal. This time, Spiderverse. Alright? You guys like Spiderverse? I know it's way late. It came out like a month ago, but bear with me. You know, it starts off pretty strong with some stuff with Miles at the beginning, and then Gwen Stacy having a fight with Renaissance Vulture. That's pretty fucking crazy. Back to Miles, he's in New York. He's having problems with his parents. He's missing Gwen and the adventures that they had. But all changes when Miles meets a new villain, the Spot. Not so exciting at first, until you learn that he was part of that Hadron Collider yada yada 16 months prior in the first movie. Some sort of collider. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I don't know shit. Just when he's missing Gwen, he clashes with his parents, and she just shows up in his room and is like, "Hey, you want to go on a spider adventure?" And they go into the Spiderverse, a crazy multitude of different Spider-Men that all collaborate and do whatever the fuck. Pretty much some misadventures happen, and he ends up back in New York at the end. That's the short synopsis anyway. Now to the filmmaking. As always, Spiderverse movies have the best visual style. I mean, like, it's great. Pretty much every time... I don't know. Every time you see something new or interesting, it just, like, blows your mind. Like, the first movie was fantastic, but this movie 10 times as good. I mean, not even joking. It's amazing. Basically, all of the creative angles, the interesting lighting, the color palettes, everything that made the first movie really interesting turned up to 100. It's really, really impressive. This movie is dripping with drip, as they'd say. I mean, God, how many editors, artists, animators, everything, how many fucking effects artists did this take? I gotta say, the music in this movie, it was pretty on point. Each Spider-Man had their own unique theme. My favorite being the Spider-Man 2099 theme, as you probably heard in TikTok. But, you know, there's some other good stuff in there. Now, I think the most interesting stuff about the movie was the fact that Hobie, also known as Spider-Punk, pretty much changed style in every scene. Every time you saw him, it was a different color or a different style. One time it was zine, one time it was black and white, one time it was like classic comic booky a little bit. It's really interesting stuff. Mixing in all sorts of different colors and everything. Like, literally every time you look at him, a different color, different shade. It's so interesting. Each Spider-Man has their own unique style too. So when they go to Gwen's dimension, it's very slightly different from Miles' dimension. It seems like it's a little less... it doesn't have that comic book texture as much, I don't think. But when they go back to Miles' dimension, it's just that comic book texture, and it's the exact same thing from the first movie. And then, spoiler alert, mild spoilers, I think it's in the trailer. They go to Indian Spider-Man, they go to his world, and, I mean, the color palette is completely different, the art style is different. It's crazy, the different techniques and styles and whatever they did in this movie. The most interesting filmmaking thing about this was there are different edits of the movie. I literally didn't even know that until I was in the theater with Man. There's a scene, there are like two specific scenes that are different. There's one with the Scarlet Spider, I think that's his name, yeah. And then the other scene is with Spider-Man 2099. It's really interesting. It's just some slight differences. It takes up the exact same amount of time, I think, but very fascinating. I wonder how much money that cost them, because I mean there has to be multiple different edits of the movie just in the theater itself, and there's millions of theaters. Oh, I forgot to mention, one of the scenes in this movie was animated by a 14-year-old. Literally, there's a Lego scene in this movie for a brief second, but it was all done by a 14-year-old in their own, like, basement or whatever, their own studio. Alright, spoiler section. Spoilers. You clicked away? Huh? Okay. Alright, like many Spider-Man sequels, our hero is at a low point. He's not doing well in school.
Miles' grades are pretty good.
He's having a hard time keeping it all together, clashing with his parents all the time. He misses Gwen and all the adventures that they had, like I said. And you know, that balancing thing is really relatable about Spider-Man. I've always liked that, particularly. My camera fucking died, I swear to God, I hate this shit. Alright, where was I? So anyway, what makes Spider-Man relatable is that he has a hard time keeping it all together. I think that many of us in our lives have struggled with that sort of thing before. Balancing all sorts of responsibilities in life and work and family. And that's always something that was like so human, and it's something that like draws a lot of people to the Spider-Man character, no matter who it is, you know, Miles Morales or Peter Parker or whatever. But yeah, no, he's just probably one of the most grounded, and I feel like this movie did a good job of displaying the groundedness of Spider-Man. Groundedness? That's a word. So anyway, non sequitur. Gwen lies to Miles when she takes him on that adventure. She's really not in his dimension just to hang out with him. She's in his dimension to, like, spy on the spot because he's some universal calamity kind of thing. Technically, because major spoilers, alright? This is like, click away now if you're gonna hear this part. Miles' powers, the spider that bit him, was not supposed to be in his universe. Therefore, he is not canon. Therefore, anything that happened in his universe is not canon. So, like, the thing with the spot, not canon. The thing with... yeah, the thing with the Spider-Man in his universe dying, that wasn't supposed to happen. So he's ruining other people's canons too. When they go to Spider-Man, Indian Spider-Man's world, excuse me, he like helps him save Gwen Stacy and like a bus full of children or whatever. I don't fucking know. And apparently he wasn't supposed to do that. Like, apparently Spider-Man's supposed to choose between one or the other, and that's just their canon event or whatever. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard this already. In every Spider-Man's life, there is a canon event, like Uncle Ben dying or the spider biting them. It's pretty much the same situation through all Spider people. Anyway, there's a lot of multiversal threats looming around the Marvel Universe. From Loki to this, to the other Spider-Man, to Doctor Strange. I don't even know what the hell's happening. King the Conqueror, what the hell's happening, Loki? I don't know. Where am I? What's happening? I don't know. I can't keep up with Marvel anymore. Some more specific stuff about the movie. I liked Spider-Punk, or Hobie, as he's known. There was a Spider T-Rex, a wheelchair Spider-Man. There was a bunch of cool, like, interesting Spider people. All just memorable classics. The Scarlet Spider, just good stuff. But anyway, Miles ends up in New York at the end of the movie. It's just New York during the 70s blackouts. So, yeah, it kind of sucks, but he'll be alright. Also, Gwen is fucking Spider-Punk. I swear, it really is a thing. Alright, my recommendation. I'd say this movie is really interesting for most people. I think kids and Marvel fans are really going to enjoy this kind of stuff. It's like a really good, like, family movie for all ages, pretty much. I'm going to say the people who are going to like this movie the most, hype beasts, alright? Sneakerheads. There's some real drip in this movie, okay? I have to say, the movie felt kind of bogged down a little bit. It was like slow and not as interesting or fast-paced as the first movie. And it really doesn't have a good ending because it's going to be concluded in the next movie. So this movie is just kind of there, kind of tying the first one to the third one. Which is fine, I guess that's what a sequel should do, but it's not that interesting. I mean, it's kind of boring. I don't know. But anyway, it was a good watch. It was totally worth it. I'm not trying to shit on it too much. It was just missing a little bit. I'd give it like a B+ rank, okay? It's not bad. I recommend it to all Spider-Man hams. Yeah, Spider hams. Those guys would like it. Sneakerheads and grandmas alike. Alright, thanks, and fuck you. Are we still recording? You bitch.